Hello everyone, it's Lottie from Cancer is a Lifestyle. So today is day 9 of the 12 cast-ons. We are almost at the end. Excuse me. And today we are doing another sweater. Now you're probably going like, what? How many sweaters are you going to do? Well, the whole purpose of these 12 cast-ons is I want to be making things that I wouldn't have done on a normal basis. Like I want to learn how to do a lot of these things, and one of them is I want to make my own clothing. And I crochet, but yet I never make anything. Like I see people making sweaters, and I see them making tops and dresses even. So like I really want to make my own clothes. But today's I am going to do a sweater for my daughter. Now this is going to be it's called the Weekend Snuggle Sweater, and the tutorial is by For the Frills, which I will put the link down below. And I am using the Red Heart Super Saver in the Amethyst. This is coming out blue, but it is actually purple. I don't know why that comes out on the screen always blue, but it is a beautiful, beautiful purple. Okay? It's just like the natural purple color that you know when you think of purple. Solid. It's going to be a solid color. And hold on. Here it is. Now look at the stitching. Now it's supposed to be a single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1. And I thought when I was doing that I'm going to end up with, since I'm skipping a stitch and I'm chaining 1, I'm going to end up with like holes, where it's going to end up being see-through. But it's not. Look how it's coming out. I actually really, really like it. This is the front piece. And it does have ribbing. I know almost all the sweaters have the ribbing on the bottom. It's going to have some on the cuffs, but it will have a crew neck. Not as deep like mine right here. It will be more like this. If that makes sense. And it will have a small ribbing around here. A small one, very faint. But it will be for my daughter. It will be in purple. She loves purple. I try to find yarn. Anytime I see any kind of purple shades or whatever of yarn, I always buy it just for her. So I think after all these sweaters that I'm making for myself, I'm going to make her one in one solid shade. Now I do love this stitching. I love how it came out. It feels like it's going to be a nice sweater. A lot of the problems that I have with when we crochet tops, they use it looks like a crochet top. I don't know how to put it, and it doesn't really look like a sweater that you would buy in a store. And that's why I like the knitting part. Like one day I'm going to learn to knit, and I will knit sweaters. But anyway, what else? Let me see. So this one here is supposed to be 80 rows for the front. Now I have watched some other channels that have made sweaters themselves, and they all say the same thing, because we are all made differently. So whenever they tell us to do like 80 rows or 39 rows of, or how many, I think before we start reseating or in the for the top, we should kind of lay it in front of us if it's actually the length that we want. Because a lot of people I've noticed that are making the sweaters and they're following a tutorial end up saying that because we're so different, we have different bust sizes and all, that the sweaters end up being different length, and they're not really liking that. So I think the tip here would be, once I get to my 80 rows, like in the front, like she says, I'm going to just lay it across her to see if it's the right length. She tends to like her sweaters to be longer and not just, at her waist or like a crop top. So I'm going to do that. But so far, I feel like I did a lot on this one, and I would have had more except that I had to kind of rip out quite a few rows because what I noticed was happening, and I tend to do this even in my blankets and all, and scarves especially. This is a huge problem for me when I make scarves. When I get to the end, I somehow, like you see how it's nice and straight, somehow I tend to either, it looks like this, or it goes like this. Like I add on a stitch or I decrease a stitch by, for some reason. But you see, I am happy with this one too. But somewhere on this one, I ended up where it was going, I was receding. And then I didn't like that. Of course, it wasn't going to look right. So I did have to rip out quite a few rows, and it would have been a lot more than this. But so far, I really am liking this stitch. I never would have thought that. Chain one, no, single crochet, chain one, skip one. Single crochet, chain one, skip one, single crochet, chain one, skip one. And look at it, does not come out with holes or gaps in it. I was really surprised, and I like the way that looks. Look at that. That looks really good. So, yes, and since it is for my daughter, I think I'm going to probably do it longer because she likes her clothes. And I'm getting the impression, even though when I look at a lot of the models that are wearing these sweaters, it kind of depends on what you like. I don't like them to be snug either. I kind of like them to be looser and maybe a little longer. I don't like them to be cropped because I'm kind of, I'm my fat layers are around my middle section. So yes, this is what it is for day 9. I am really happy with it. I did quite a lot. I would have had more if I didn't have to rip out at least the 4 rows, but I'd rather do it right. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. It did snow a little bit here. It's more of a dusting. We ended up having a lot of sleet and where it was icy. And I know the road conditions were slippery out there, but there is a dusting on the tree branches and it looks kind of pretty. And we did lose power for a very short time yesterday. And I mean, it just really came back on and off real quick. But I think that's because of the iciness on the branches and all and on the power lines. But otherwise than that, we had pretty, really mild weather here in central Illinois. So I was really happy with that. And I hope wherever you're at, your conditions are not dangerous, or if they are, please stay inside and kind of, or be really careful. And, or maybe you enjoy the snow, who knows? Anyway, I will see you tomorrow for day 10. Bye.